Let's do the military crawl. Can't understand what they don't know. Can't understand what they don't know. Shoot, shoot. Shoot the enemy. He's shooting you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Porthole to Justice. It is Sunday evening, March 24th, and I'm going to be, recently, first I want to share, I'm going to be doing an interview myself with investigative journalist Jacob Schreffler, coming soon to YouTube about the fraud on my Child Protective Services case and my evidence, and going over some of the events that I experienced fighting for my son, who was put in foster care. It's a result of a lot of targeting and corruption and just a huge mess that I had to sort out. And it's taken me, I just closed my family court case recently, and I'm very fortunate that I have full custody of my son. I'm very blessed, and we're very happy. So I'm going to be doing an interview all about my Child Protective Services story and my recent family court case coming up soon on YouTube. So keep an eye out for that. Recently we had, we saw in the news in January, there were FBI agents that swarmed Roger Stone's family home. And I guess there was some video that was broadcast, but there was a raid and the arrest of Roger Stone, a former presidential advisor and longtime friend of President Trump. And it's sort of, really wild, some of the things that we're witnessing that are going on. And, I wonder, if this is just a lot of political targeting going on. So my guest this evening is Roger Tanner, and he's going to share with us his own story. He's Roger Tanner, bounty hunter, magazine operative, had a sheriff's deputy and FBI agents that tried to kill him at his home with his 4-year-old son at the time. So I'm going to have him on right now. I'm going to go ahead and give him a call, get him on the line. And so it's kind of dramatic, this story, and it's crazy what is going on, and in not a lot of... Hi, Roger.
Hello.
Welcome to the Porthole to Justice.
Thank you.
So I was just sharing a little bit about your story with the audience. Did this happen in 2000?
What are you referring to?
Well, the incident that occurred at your home with the FBI and the sheriff's department?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and so it happened in 2000, and what?
Yes.
What led up to that event?
Led up to that event, probably an accumulation of exposure of criminal activities that I was a confidential informant for the FBI. They give me that honor when I would force them into prosecuting crimes that I don't think that they wanted to prosecute. I tried to make it impossible for them to escape, so that they would have to go after major drug rings and violation of the EPA, on. And the FBI don't like to be told or bullied around to do something they don't want to do. And I'm not saying that they're protecting crimes, but they're protecting crimes. And as a result, attorneys that are operating illegally and doing things illegally, taking bribes, working payoffs with judges and so forth. Obviously, the FBI were nervous about that information getting out. And when I talk about this, when I'm mentioning this, this is not conjecture, hearsay. I watched bribes go down. I watched attorneys that I was doing process serving for and investigation for. I watched them. It's strange that attorneys aren't very silent about their endeavors and brag about how they can fix this case with this judge and fix the case with this judge and so forth. And we're
witnessing. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to interject something really quickly. We're witnessing a lot of political targeting, agent provocateurs, a lot of tension in the air right now. And also there was a raid on Roger Stone's home, former presidential advisor Roger Stone at his Florida home. And you had something similar happen to you.
What happened with Roger Stone was identical. It was absolutely identical to what they did to me. They come in, as on the video that William Wagner put together with former sheriff deputy that came forth after 15 years, explained it meticulously in detail how he was at the the SO at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and the FBI come in with a squad of probably 15, 20 federal FBI agents in complete battle gear, machine guns and so forth, and ordered his assistance, which is required by law. They have to go to the sheriff, but they told him that they were going to execute me, and they wanted his assistance, and he refused because he knew me. And he, even in the interview, he says, if there was a problem with Roger, I can go get him. I can walk up and he'll walk out. And he said, oh, no, he's very dangerous. He's dangerous. You can't do that. They did not want to give him the opportunity to go and talk to me and see what the problem was. And what they had fabricated, and this had to be quite an operation to fabricate and get witnesses and get everybody to do what they needed to do. But they fabricated a crime that I had attempted or was attempting to kill a federal judge. I didn't really know in the beginning, but as it played out, we did find out that the judge's house was vandalized. I guess his car was destroyed by someone, of which 2 inmates were going to say that they assisted me in that crime. And interesting as it may seem, no one was ever charged with somebody or whoever did that crime. The judge probably was terrorized. His family was terrorized. The grand jury was lied to by attorney Sam Morrison, and he played a part in it. Mr. Morrison is probably, to be truthful, if you check him out, he's probably a pedophile on the loose, of which nobody will do anything about. And if Mr. Morrison is listening, he has every right in the world to challenge me, but I also have my information that it would be interesting if it did come out. But nevertheless, Mr. Morrison did lie to the grand jury. And the jury even made it known that he lied because I was found not guilty of attempting to kill a federal judge. Now, the way it played out, it was kind of interesting because the sheriff deputy, Brad Bell, refused to assist him. He was threatened that if he didn't assist, he would be arrested. he agreed that he would take them to where I was located, where I lived, and then he was out of it. He didn't want to be in the middle. He didn't want to get shot, and he knew that they were probably going to kill him as a result of this raid that they had engineered. They had thought out how they're going to do it, and he got there, and he was done. And I come walking out of the house with my 4-year-old, and not knowing anything, and the radio blared, stand down, we can't kill him, he's got a child." So I was arrested, and the rest was that I had supposedly attempted to kill a federal judge, and also I threatened Sam Morrison. I told him he was on the hook. So I was held 6 months, 10 days in solitary, with absolutely no opportunity to deal with my family or talk to them or anything. And this is part of their punishment they do to you. And an hour before trial, a federal marshal, who I know, came in and was fingerprinting me and laughing. And he says, "Well, they can't give you 25 years. And he's laughing. And I said, "Why is that?" He says, "Well, I shouldn't tell you, but I will." He said, "They just found out that the attempt on Judge Spears' life, which was what this was all about, it couldn't have happened that way because the incident, as reported, they just found out that I was in intensive care with acute pneumonia in Blanchard Valley Hospital." What a mistake. The Agent McCorkle of the FBI, and also an agent who was the director, Pachetti, we now found out that he was brought into the Toledo office of the FBI early in 1989. I believe that he was engineered for this attempt on my life. Later in his career, he went to work as the commander in Washington, D.C., field office of the FBI. And at the time he was there, you can do the research, he had an affair, extramarital affair, and supposedly was in the house or the apartment of his girlfriend. And when she come in, he was hiding in the closet without her knowledge. He surprised her, brutally beat her, stripped her, taped her up with duct tape, handcuffed her with FBI handcuffs, drug her around the apartment naked, and then threw her in the back of his car and left. And the Alexandria Police Department got tipped off, and they chased him into a parking lot next to an apartment complex where there was a shootout, someplace between 4 and 6 hours. No one got hit. He was arrested. He was charged with abduction and given 4.5 years. Truthfully, it appears that it has all the earmarks of he was making a snuff film. And this is one thing that I've been a spokesperson